I like that part. Okay. Guys, welcome to Timotheus against LaaaaaN. Let's take a look at the civilization draft they have in store for us. So, they picked those civilizations. Right hand side is Timotheus, left hand side is LaaaaaN, as you can see. They banned Aztecs and Burmese. So overall, left is for LaaaaaN, Malians, Incas and Koreans. And we have Italians, Turks and Slavs for Timotheus. Kind of interesting civilizations. We will see what they will pick later on, how they will approach this, and especially like how the Koreans will be used here. I'd say I'll let the first game run a bit and we can now jump into the very first game here and let's see how they will play it out. I'm obviously a guy who often says how big of a fan I am of Timotheus and LaaaaaN. Timotheus and Melkor. And yeah, we will see what is that villager going to do. Going for the double berries, interesting stuff. And I think they have a good shot of going far on this one, or I believe actually Melkor's already out. So it's only, yeah, the two guys now playing on that one account. Feels bad, man. And he, to begin with, is starting with the Turks. And as you can see, is already building a house. So build it over here, so he doesn't get tower rushed by the Korean player. But the Korean player isn't playing it that fast and actually lost a villager here. And that seems to be like from the rotting stage of the villager seems to be happening after 4 minutes 5 on the berries here as well. And yeah, second lumber camp won't be the fastest uptime. Maybe a castle age tower rush by LaaaaaN here. We will see. Not 100% sure how viable of a strategy that is, but for now, Timotheus with a better start than Loom. And, well, it seems like he had some idle time here. Isn't that far ahead? Look at that! That feels a bit weird. He's going against Turks. Timotheus is only slightly ahead, although he didn't lose a villager. Look at that. He is at 20%, on the other side we are at 10%ish. So it seems like he idled his TC quite a bit. Not the biggest loss of the villager. Then, Goldstone, welcome mate. Relic distribution looks pretty fair. Extra gold distribution, not so much though. We have 2 extra gold spots here in the back of for LaaaaaN. He has a reasonable gold spot as well. Stone, one pretty open, right hand one even outside of his base. Defensive stone for Timotheus, just beautiful here. And that looks a bit like I would say maybe Janissaries. We'll see. That looks like a typical FC to me. 2 on gold without loom. All makes sense. Not too much on wood here. Making it 8 villagers. Did push the deer. A reasonable start except of the villager loss. That looks like a lot of wood. Didn't go for a lot of farming. Remember guys, if you see, oh, that's maybe not enough villagers on food. Well, he also has 2 on the berries in the back here. But, nonetheless, feels like he has a bit too much wood. Not trying to organize the villagers to a better place. Trying to make sure his villagers in gold a bit, but yeah. Let's see how this will go, guys. And that's your time where you spam some predictions in the chat. Or you don't actually have to spam them, just post them. What do you think? Who's going to win this series? Is it going to be Timotheus or is it going to be LaaaaaN? Give me your predictions, guys. I personally think it should be Timotheus taking it like 3-1 over LaaaaaN. We'll see. Oh. Trying to go for the hunt here, but both and feel late. 3-2, Timo, 3-1, 3-2. Okay, interesting. And Timotheus is going in. LaaaaaN is blocking that. Not 100% sure if he wants to do that. No real damage done. And LaaaaaN is advancing to Castle Age. As you can see, Timotheus actually did add 3 villagers. Something we don't really want to do, but something he opted for. And is now adding a 4th one on stone. Normally you want to add 2. I think he wants to get horse color and then go into heavy farming here as well. He's trying to use his buildings to create some houses or some walls. And now horse color will finish any second, and then we will see like 7-8 farms added. And they need some more villages and gold, if you ask me. On the other side, what is LaaaN really going for? Is he just trying to go for the boom? Doesn't look like a lot of aggression, only 2 on gold as well. This could be just a boom, but how will he defend against Janissaries? Not sure if that's a real viable strategy here. Oh, last game draw, that would be interesting. They are clear top 3 and top 5 civs. A bans top 3, B bans Maya, A picks top 3 civ, B picks top 3 civil intelligence. Well, that's not right, because the first one is a global ban, right? And you don't need to ban the best civs. You can just global bans Vietnamese if you want to play the stronger civs. At least that's how I thought it works. Extra TC for LaaaN on the stone, extra TC at the wood side as well. And now he reaches Castle Age as well. And that's what I said. The villager on stone was a bit late, so we're lacking a bit stone here. I'm sending only 2 villagers to the front to get a monastery out. Something we are not seeing of LaaaN. It's actually adding some more farms, is getting the wood upgrade, and wheelbarrow by Timotheus quite early on for a guy who only has 5 farms. Oh, we'll see. The castle is somewhat in no man's land. Now trying to scout. Probably will get map control. Now rushing onto stone is LaaaN. That's interesting. Or not rushing onto stone, but he is getting the mining upgrade and is sending all of them over. So probably trying to go for a late defensive castle here. Nearly if A bans Vietnamese, B bans something like Khmer. Why? Isn't it hidden? One can just ban a bad civ, one can ban a good civ. It's not, I think it's more complex than you're making it look. But, well, maybe I am just lacking some understanding as well. Defensive castle now, LaaaN at this point 6 villages ahead, make that 8. But military count will be pretty rapidly in favor of Timotheus, and his base is pretty open, and he didn't build most of his houses to be super safe. So probably 1 defensive castle over here, and then the Janissaries will knock at that side. We will see. And LaaaN, I'm not sure how he will really know what's going on. Sees a monk out, and now the light cap is not getting in. Seems like Timotheus will have all the reds in the world, or on the map, and is actually staying on stone. Isn't that interesting? Even adding 2 more. So that will be another castle. It feels like Timotheus is trying to end this one in Castle Age. This looks like full Janissaries, and honestly, Koreans don't have the greatest counter to full Janissaries, and he sees that there's a lot of ways to enter the space, so yeah, he just knows I can continue and pressure this. Can easily kill the TC, even with the Janissaries, but for now he can just block the stone spot. He's controlling the right hand side spot as well, at least he's seeing it. Now sending some units over, actually might lose his monk here. Let's take a look, and that could be the first kill, the real kill of the game. And now completely blocking the stone. No? Oh, interesting. So we don't have loom yet, and those villagers are in perfect range to get that tower up. Oh god, already 3 losses. But still, 10 range to that is Mr. LaaaN, Numino, and Greavy in the house. Oh, Lightcap is getting in, so now he gets a full scout of what's going on. I believe he could juggle around with the Janissaries here. Still, it's blocking from stone. But we will see about that. Trying to get another relic now. He already has 2 safe home, is now getting the 3rd one, sees the 4th one, and has no idea about what. Okay, sees all of them. Now getting the perfect scout off. Oh, one patterned. 2nd one coming over. I think he didn't really need that one. And it's interesting that Aren't pellets normally doing splash damage? I'm a bit surprised that only one wall was getting hit here. And now rushing out a lot of towers. That second one was absolutely needed. And now going for Botkin arrow. Then going for the solid 11 range. Trying to defend that. But look at the stone count here of Timotheus. If he is building a castle over here, he will be able to do some massive pressure. 15 villagers ahead at this moment is Mr. LaaaaaN though. Military count 0 to 14. Timotheus going for quite some aggression. Killed some villagers. Is now denying some farms. But is heavily housed here. And only building the houses with one villager. If you're housed, I sometimes like to build them with some more. The question is, will LaaaaaN be safe with his defensive towers? We will be able to build a defensive castle pretty soon as well. And look at those buildings, university and monastery. What does that indicate, guys? I would say that indicates that he is thinking about clicking up any second and indeed using the markets. And that means already 800 food, not building any more villages, is losing some over here. But his village advantage is only 12 at the moment. Relics will be 5 to 0 as well. And Timotheus, just remember he has a small eco advantage there with the gold income. And villager difference is now only 10. Let's see how LaaaaaN will play this out though. What unity will be going for? Is he going for war wagons? He is dealing something here. And that very defensive castle, so it feels like war wagons is really his answer. We'll see about that. Now aggressive castle here by Timotheus, who does not have loom still. Also, they just are walking out, trying to go for that gold as it seems. And, oh, interesting. LaaaaaN is building a guard tower over here just to protect his relic and the stone as it seems. That's a weird choice. And that tower, not 100% sure if it's in range or not. 11 range, that seems pretty damn long. And only 4 villagers. If we focus down the villagers, I think that castle could be denied. 5 villagers only. Now going for a siege workshop. At the same time, Timotheus is up to imp as well and will get some bombard cannons up, which will have 12 range against the 11 for now. But once we get Botkin arrow, it's well, not Botkin arrow, bracer. It's going to be interesting. And that tower isn't focusing on the villagers, who now got loom as well, trying to micro them. And another tower. So that castle will indeed not go up. But does he really need another castle? Not 100% sure. We could take down the TC, 8 range, well, always 11 range of the towers as well. Now the 2 monkeys are coming over. Finding another gold spot is obviously pretty sweet for him. LaaaaaN building a lot of houses, villager count. Totally had, oh, but that means LaaaaaN will be stuck on 1 single tower. Look at that, 12, and now bracers coming. That range is just ridiculous. So Timotheus, without going for traps, kind of needs to research artillery. He has enough stone, so maybe saving up for that to really get onto bombard cannons that can outrange the towers. Otherwise, LaaaaaN is somewhat safe. And 60 minutes ahead. Eco is still running for him. Let's take a look. I believe artillery is really the upgrade he wants to go for, and indeed, look at that, the first upgrade he's clicking. And now going for 2 bombard cannons. I think he wouldn't really mind to get this hole a bit bigger. Can also still sees that stone. Bombard cannons, trying to get some damage done. And going on that trap quite nice and early, and artillery already finished, and that 14 range is just too sweet. And that's, yeah, just one of the small perfect answers against keeps here. That castle is actually getting massive amounts of damage. Look at that. It's 5 towers and 1 castle. Trying to kill that. Now bombard cannons. What answer do they have? Arrow slits now. But if you're just not in range, that doesn't really matter, right? +3 attack. It's still a massive army. Look at that, 23 to 1. So one single military unit out for LaaaN. What is he building? I'm a bit confused. One trap we saw before. That castle, let's take a look, was actually, I believe, cancelled, and he's building another one. Bombard cannons. Where's the answer of LaaaN? Is he attacking? Where is he attacking to? Now he's going for archers. Is trying to switch around with some resources. His villager advantage is still at 20. Now trying to go for masonry, trying to get some more HP on his buildings. But still, without any army. Archer ranges, I believe he will switch into Arbalest. But Arbalest against 5 bombard cannons already out. Massive range. The Janissaries do quite some damage as well. It will be interesting. It really needs to get high numbers out very quickly. Four relics, still 2 none. And those bombard cannons stand. This 14 range is just the perfect thing here to really deal with LaaaN. They are so mobile. Just think about it, traps need to pack, unpack all the time. Every other bombard cannon than the ones of the Turks wouldn't outrange those 13 range keeps. So that's the real perfect answer. And well, Janissaries a bit at a weird spot. Still no Arbalest tech. Now it's slowly going for Hussars. Sees that the slowly going for Arbalest and sees that the Hussar doesn't have a single upgrade, so he knows Timotheus kind of has its one army. Is conscription finishing? It seems like no, and that's still a lot of bombard cannons. LaaaN knows exactly what's up. Timotheus on the other side, well, he kind of has to be expecting Arbalest, right? Or could he maybe think about onagers? He cannot really feel like he's in too bad of a shape. Yeah, he knows his eco's probably behind. He's only playing this with 2 TCs, but he's still producing, he's killing more villagers, and he's gaining so much ground. He's not really denying any resources though. That stone is over. Not denying the gold, anything else. For now, he's just killing TCs and blocking farms. Not 100% sure if that's the best option ever. Now goes for the university. +3 defense on his Janissaries. What is he fearing? Is there a chance of LaaaN maybe going for Cavaliers? Not really sure. He sees, oh well, he did see the archer ranges, so he knows exactly what's up. These are skirmishers or Arbalest, and well, neither of them are going to perform too well against. Look at that, 8 bombard cannons. Now he sees the Arbalest. Let's take a look. If he just eats some shots, this could be one of the worst fights, and bombard cannons are focusing this down. LaaaN is trying to go for some crazy splits, but look at that amount of bombard cannons just shooting, and LaaaN is trying to move in, but will eat more and more shots, and that has to be the game. Look at that, military count is 33 to 19, and well, LaaaN loses the game with only killing 12 units this game. And yeah, that felt like LaaaN had no real plan how to play this out. Felt a bit disappointing, honestly. No tower rush, not switching for onagers, just trying to go for a blind boom, and then tower defense. Maybe you thought, okay, this guy doesn't have enough range, or I'm a bit disappointed by this play. But well, as I said, probably Turks quite a solid spot in this one, just because of their nice range and the Janissary strength. But yeah, a tower rush would have felt so much more standard. And achievements. Petty, brutal economy. What? Timotheus had actually more food. That's interesting. So Timotheus really blocked a lot of farms of land there. Was villager wise. Was solidly behind. And that's all game long. All game long he was behind. But military just not being really on the map there, LaaaN. That felt weird, guys. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? That felt weird. We have no Koreans anymore and no more turkeys. So Incas and Malians left for Kingland, and Timotheus still has Slavs that he loves and Italians. Interesting stuff. This game felt like it could just end in 3-0 swipe, something like that. I'm just confused. While weird gunpowder strong, yeah, gunpowder strong, but you kind of need to play against that, right? And he didn't really go for anything. Felt a bit like of land, like how Timotheus played, like how straightforward it was. If you just played like against the 1700s, you didn't really know what to do. And LaaaN, well, he had more villagers, he had a solid boom, he had a, like, you knew that he, you saw that he knew how to play. But like, yeah. Can defend Jenny's with towers, but forward can is not. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, what military could he have done? I don't think he could have went for anything in Castle Age. I like the tower option, but then, well, Orange just won't do much as well. I think he just needs tower rush. Or war wagons. Does anyone know how well war wagons perform against Janissaries? Nearly. Can you convince, for example, Viper to do a vegan German versus gluten-free Norwegian? That way you'd have to save all the sheep. Yes, to collect them would be great on Ghost Lake. What does gluten-free mean? He's not allowed to build farms? Then I will win quite easily. I just need to wall and get a mangonel out. Right? Because you can only build archers. And monks. Well, tower rush is good as well. Okay, well, it's more complicated than I thought. Okay. Huh. Maybe I'll think about it. That's honestly not that uninteresting. Gluten-free Norwegian against vegan Teuton. Well, we will see. Maybe those challenges coming up later, but for now, we're jumping into map number 2. It is Timotheus playing the Italians and LaaaN playing the Malians. Both getting their second point. This time Timotheus is losing a villager. Or his scout, as it seems. Where is military count is 1-1. Timotheus lost the villager. But where did he lose it? Doesn't look like it's under CC. Well, small losses it seems, and no restart by him. So that's pretty weird. Okay. And not sending some villagers over to wood. Actually, it'll hurt one. That's kind of unusual if you have to open your base. Obviously, in Arena, it's one of the maps where it's least important, but still. People are so used to microing their villagers. It's uncommon to see him not being on the farms. Obviously, want to have them close to TC so that enemy units will snipe them less easily. Second berries this time for Mr. LaaaaaN. Last time it was for Timotheus, who is now losing the villager. Oh, now he is over here. Okay. And yeah, what are the strategies for the guys? Timotheus, I believe, played 25 plus 2 last time I saw him with Italians. And LaaaaaN, well, don't really know what he could be going for. Maybe... Oh, interesting. Decides against the lure of the forced here. That's weird. I think he should have gotten that one. 25? And on the other side, probably 27. Yeah, looks like it's up in that deer in. So difference isn't as big as it should be. Timotheus went for the 25, although he lost the villager. So at the 26 timing, and he's going for the barracks. So it kind of means monastery and stable compared to the double monastery we see out of most Italians, I would say. I really dislike this arena tower rush. If you had a bad map, you die and get salty. You win with good map, it just feels stupid. Well, I think you don't have to lose if you have a bad map. There are ways to counter a tower rush, even if you have a bad map. Let's counter trash as trash. You make towers to defend, you okay. Somewhat like that. If you have a good map and lose to tower rush, you feel stupid, salty, and noob. No outcomes as fun. Yeah. Oh, archery range. Interesting. Timothy is going for crossbows. Maybe just thinks that his enemy is booming and he wants to do crossbow hop. Could be an option. 10 more on gold. Man has solid resources here. Will get up quite easily. Same time. The Italian bonus kicking in for Timotheus. Is now starting archer production. So that seems like siege tower and crossbow hop. That's why he's trying to take the engagement. Oh, not upset sure if he really wants to run away there. It feels to me like LaaaaaN is sitting first, but I have no idea honestly. And what I said. Okay, that's super good for Timotheus. And he's now hiding his strategy, and well, LaaaaaN will just sit back, boom, and could get punished quite heavily. And here you can see forward villager sending an archer around here. Wolves are at the down or at the south. Therefore, the siege workshop will go up. Let's take a look. Does LaaaaaN have a good idea of this area? Yes, so he could maybe farm scout that. And therefore know that the forward is coming and react accordingly. What is he doing now? Maybe a monastery? Or is he... what is this villager doing? Did he maybe try to go outside and saw the scout? He's putting himself quite early out, quite early. Look at that. 70% he's already sitting there. I wouldn't mind a house. Is he trying to sneak a villager? Look at that. He's building some walls over here. Oh, the scout left. Oh, wants to secure that stone as it seems. But well, there is already a siege workshop and he will just hop over there. This could be ugly for LaaaaaN. One defensive TC, two defensive TCs. And the crossmen will position themselves quite beautifully. Look at that. If they're over here, they're blocking a lot of farms, blocking both wood lines, which just have to run quite a bit. And interesting stuff here for sure. Timotheus is kind of guaranteed to do some damage. Monks won't really perform too well. Crossman, not sure. No bot canary for him yet. Is he building an extra TC? Does not look like it. But Timotheus is really putting quite a bit of action into that. Now running back to the villagers, 3 crossmen coming over trying to catch TC off guard or something. LaaaN now sees a crossman coming over. Actually gets no attack sign. That's so weird. He lost 1 HP and got no attack sign. Now he got 1. Loses 1 villager. I'll get some damage done against those crossbowmen. That's actually a pretty solid start here. And now building a monk, trying to go for some converts. Let's take a look. What does Timotheus see of the map? Now finds a gold spot, and he has to be happy about that. Question is he going for more crossbowmen? Yes, he is. And 1 scout staying active over here. He wants to stay close to the monastery, trying to not allow a monk to get super range on him. Oh, actually he's running around. That's weird. He had the chance to block the gold spot. I think I would have loved to see him continuing staying there. Now going for the monastery, trying to pick up some of the relics himself. Builds 1 TC, not the most beautiful one, but well, the one he opted for. Scorpion now trying to do some damage, and obviously can get out microed. A monk now around as well. Let's take a look, trying to snipe down the villager. Will lose his life. And crossman running away. Could maybe get 1 or 2 more kills. Remember, it's still no loom. Well, now they need a lot more shots, 2 more volleys, and another villager down. That's kind of efficient here what Timotheus is doing. And did he snipe the last one? I thought the arrow was in the air, but seems like no. Okay, 3, 4 crossmen producing a 5th one, 6th one is queued up. So that feels like Timotheus didn't really realize that he won't be doing too much damage. And is getting map control, that's pretty sweet for him. We'll have probably the rally control in this game, but we'll be behind with some villagers. Question is, was it worth it or not? I'd say gaining map control, already getting upgrades, and obviously putting the fear in the head of your enemy kind of was pretty nice for him. Oh, attack sign could be a bug linked to the siege tower. Oh, that's interesting. Didn't hear that before. Uh-oh, crossman lost here. But the monk should lose his life in exchange. Uh-oh. Aye! That split wasn't really the most... Oh, yeah. I just want to say, like, that's not the best split ever. Doesn't really make that much sense. Let's take a look. Oh, deleting his own crossman last second after 1 villager, 1 monk already died. They're trying to get a relic home. Let's take a look. Oh, a scout with full HP back now, so could easily snipe a monk. And could be efficient against actually any unit running around at the moment. Then a Vodkin arrow, Mangonel could be pretty efficient as well. Scout 3 hits and then kill himself, or is he trying to run away? And indeed running away here. That's a very efficient move here by Timotheus. He was only behind by 6 villagers. Still active on them. And still active on the map. That's what I wanted to say. Now picking up the first relic. Second one should be on the way. Third one in range. He sees the 4th one, and 5th one, well, kind of in his control as well. So we'll be kind of tough. Oh, that scout should easily get that monk. It's so good for him. Mangonel is sniping down the scorpion, and that was a 3-kill streak here for Timotheus. Completely unanswered by LaaaN. Did try to go for some convert, but didn't really finish it. Trying to go for some more wall skills here. Keep up the aggression. LaaaN is actually selling quite a lot of resources here. He's thinking about going to Imperial Age, and well, he isn't thinking about it. He already clicked. And that's a huge difference. Has 6 more villagers, but Malians, not like really the tiff where I'd say, yeah, low eco, it's going to work out for you. And he needs to protect that stone side. because he's pretty vulnerable at the moment, still without Loom. If the crossmen were just being sent over, he could have snagged himself some of it just, but now double Magnum defense should be pretty fine. Timotheus, not very active, and keeps on collecting relics. Question is, what will he go for? Is he going for the condos? Not 100% sure how well they will perform against the G-Battles then. And well, that shouldn't work out, right? Eating some damage? No. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Timotheus is surviving that one. And going back, now going for hand cut. His eco is just pretty damn solid. Relic count is, yeah, soon going to be 5-0 though. Another one running home. We have number 3, number 4, number 5 in the house. And relics, resources on the other side for Timotheus are, yeah, well, looking to be clicking up pretty soon. One defensive castle here, trying to get more stone. I'm not 100% sure how much I like G-Battles and how well they will perform against, well, potentially like bombard cannon, hand cannoneer combo of Timotheus. They will perform, I'd say, reasonably well against condos. Not a matchup I've seen too often though. He should just go champs. LaaaN, you mean? Okay. I think champs wouldn't be too bad. That's true. But seems like that's not really going to be his eco setup. If I look at that, although a force TC kind of indicates that he, oh, horrible mining camp. A force TC kind of indicates that he wouldn't mind getting a better food eco. Oh, that's not really a fight he wants to take, is it? Ah, now he sees G-Battle sees +2 defense there. +3 defense even coming in. Timotheus is indeed going for botkin arrows, so that's interesting. Is he trying to stay on Arbalest? That would be so weird. And oh, well, that's not really going to work, but that single G-Battle is doing so much damage against his own Mangonauts, or former own Mangonauts. And now that was kind of costly for, well, he killed some monks in the end. Kind of both, I would say. Take a look how well the G-Battles will perform, which is not the greatest unit to be designed to face off Arbalest. If Timotheus would go for them, and Mangonauts obviously killed them one shot as well. So you always have to babysit them so incredibly much. And need to run, very low HP unit, high damage output though. LaaaN again with a better eco, going for the second card. I think could have been like 1 or 2 tiles further to the front to protect his stone a bit better. And now the question is, what will Timotheus go for as a counter? It really seems like Arbalest tech against the G-Battles here. Kind of makes sense. You have more range, you do damage from distance against a very low HP unit, so that's not too bad. And if Timotheus can micro that quite nicely, I think he's in a good spot. Obviously, we see Tampering, Bracer, Ballistics, getting all the upgrades except the Arbalest upgrade itself. Mangonel, oops, going for some ground check but didn't get the shots off. Maybe you should use the market a bit more here. Now trying to get more houses up in the back. No, I like those stone walls. Wants to be safe against potential run-bys. And is going for... Ah, that's why he's not selling all this food. Going for guilds first. Am I confused? Italians have Arbalest, right? Maybe it's just lacking some gold. Orange upgrade now for LaaaN though. And maybe G-Battle as well. So he's getting onto quite a good army. I believe Timotheus needs to go for either block printing or hand cannons, bombard cannons. I want to say. Oh, is he trying to snipe this one down? Feels a bit like it. Interesting dance. Ay, 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 ay. Ah, trading 1 for none, and now those Onager shots are getting deadly. Mangonel shot, actually getting a good one off. Not sure if he can really make. Oh, actually doing still some damage. And now, oh, the scout was trying to go for the kill. And finally, we see the Arbalest upgrade. Okay, it was just lacking quite a bit. And Redemption is block printing, so that's going to perform against Onagers quite well as well. Needs to get them out though. Doesn't have the most of gold control. Gold number 2 and 3. Very exposed here at the side. Didn't go on his extra gold at this point. And another aggressive cast. I believe LaaaaaN is still in a good position to push this, especially because most of his production is now outside here. Timotheus, that is. And no real answer against Capdram, so LaaaaaN with this better eco. Kind of getting carried. I believe I haven't seen handcart being researched by Timotheus either. Indeed, he only has wheelbarrow for now. Monk's finally out. Could get some converts now at 12 range against only 6 range and 8 range units. So should feel kind of safe with that. Oh, and that's another gold spot of his. Well, what happened here? Is that gold spot one of LaaaAN's? Or is that... I'm confused. Why does he have 3 4-tile gold spots? Well, never mind. We saw one convert and probably one Geppetto dying. What is now going for elimination? He really needs to get those converts on the Onagers. Arson and Light Cav. Light Cav obviously only designed to kill those monks, and 2 interesting army compositions we can see from both players here. Losing 1 TC at the front, but he is fine when it comes to villagers and still has TC, so that doesn't really matter to lose a TC. It's more at the moment for really, providing some drop of points for his farms, maybe some for his gold, than really villager production at the moment. Bloodlines and the +2 defense. Interesting stuff, and yeah, the Light Cav, especially if he gets Farimba, aren't shabby at all from our Malian player. Let's take a look. Still great micro, and yeah, we haven't seen any big engagements at the moment. LaaaaaN is pushing, trying to get even a better army up. Timotheus is coming in, sniping a trap. That's something he will be fine with. And now trying to do some damage. He kind of has vision and really needs to care though, and needs to run back whenever Onager is coming over. Ooh, and just doing exactly that. Now monks are moving in and they're trying to go for the converts. Let's take a look. Maybe they can get the big shots in, and seems like... Oh, okay. So no real converts are going over to Mr. Timotheus. Nursery for Mr. LaaaaaN. That's really a very helpful upgrade here. Now switching on to condos, but not a single upgrade on them so far. Trying to go for the castle at the side, trying to go for some control of his gold spots. It's funny how he still has another one back here. Going for more siege workshops. I believe bombard cannons, condo, arbalest, monk will be his 4-unit composition, and we will play against elite Geppettos, Onagers, maybe at some point SO and Light Cav. Remember guys, it's still those 5 beautiful relics here for Timotheus. So at the moment he's fine with chilling. He's getting to the same pop as LaaaaaN, who thinks like, yeah, I always wanted to click some upgrades. Just going for a lot of more of the basic upgrades. Now here at the 40-minute mark. Eco looks pretty solid, yeah, some idols, and he is expanding towards the stone a bit. Does he have any extra golds? Not really, right? We have 1 extra gold here, and that's it. Okay, so I don't really understand. So that's an extra 4-tile gold spot. I'm not 100% sure, but that's a castle that will get some kills here. And all those villagers are actually carrying gold, so that's not only killing villagers, but also draining the life out of that, yeah, gold spot. Very interesting. At the same time, we have the engagement that I kind of missed. We have the Coniteros at the front dying, Onagers, 1 at the front lost, and this looked like only some Onager losses. Feels like 4 Onager losses kill compared to like 15 condos. Bombard cannons now going over and killing some traps. Onager shots not as efficient as LaaaN was hoping for. Those light calves still only +2 attack. Bombard cannons went down to the traps though. Nice snipes here. And now all the light calves going down. That means Tibetos don't really have a buffer and Arbalest can deal with them quite nicely. Timotheus now going for double barracks and going double blacksmiths and going for all the upgrades. And we have all the relics kind of out of home. Yeah, he still has 3 monks. Could maybe just build a monastery in the back here and trying to pick them all up. Or could go for the easy way and the short distance pickup. Marimba now on the way. But those light calves will be pretty deadly. Let's take a look. Where are those monks going? And indeed he's building a more defensive monastery. We'll get that gold pretty quickly. Oh, Onager shots against those condos. I'm not sure where he's trying to position himself here. Seems like he wants to claim that area and get his gold spot. Resources pretty high on the wood here for Timotheus, who's just selling some and trying to buy some stone. Prices pretty solid for food. Wood is at 32. Stone sold a bit. Ooh. Those monks need to run in. He didn't want to lose all 5 monks there without dropping the relics off. What is he doing? Sending some condos back, trying to go for some converts, but I believe he will lose most of his monks. Remember, Heresy already researched, and now another push here for LaaaN, and he's looking pretty strong in this one. Bombard cannons trying to do the dance, Arbalest trying to protect, but those bombard cannons are way too exposed, no repair on them. And light cav, look at that, 7+7, they are just killing them so nicely. It's all cleared up, but 1 light cav and the push still continues, and Timotheus is eating bad shots one more time. Look at that, bombard cannons going down. Arbalest now very exposed as well. Condos again trying to snipe down the Onagers, but somewhat protected by the Tibetos. It feels like LaaaN's push cannot really be stopped here. Oh, but now they're 1 by 1. Ballistics finally coming in, and those light cav rates are pretty nice. Population both around pop 180 though. His crossbow man now being produced. Onagers could go for the big kills. Yeah, okay. LaaaN with only 8 range on his Onagers though. Yeah, to the 8 range of the Arbalest. Light cav doing a beautiful job. Very defensive castle here. But some Genoese crossbowmen should be pretty fine with dealing with that. Siege workshop in the back. Arbalest positioned themselves quite beautifully. But the push continues, and now the monastery, again, somewhat in range of potential traps that could position themselves over here. Elite skirmishers now another counter to the Arbalest. The damage output of the light cav is just enormous against those villagers. Look at that, 14. So they only need 4 slices. Arbalest still, it's so scary. If he loses his Arbalest, there's just no more answer to the Tibetos. But honestly, at the moment it feels like there's no real answer to the push of LaaaN anyways. Now see somewhat of a sneaky attack, but well, even if that gets the castle, he will always lose his 3 traps here. There's no chance of getting a real good trade ever. And does it really matter to kill that castle that much? I believe defensive traps could have helped out a bit more to maybe defend against Onagers, to maybe defend against traps. I think he needs to go more cost efficient, and just maybe he would just run into like 5 light cavs or an Onager or something. That was a super risky move. In the end, he is getting that castle. Maybe even getting away with those traps. That would be too sick. At the same time, light cav raiding coming over and over again. At the frontier, it's getting stopped. At the top, it's still doing its damage. And as I said, those traps, yeah, you got 1 castle, but 3 traps down. And you have to question yourself, was that really worth it? It's, very even trade, I would say. getting another trap. Shadow's coming over, but Timotheus just in such a low pop and losing bombard cannon after bombard cannon. Now the Onager shots are coming in against the Arbalest as well. Timotheus not really taking care. Suddenly he's dropping down to pop 110. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the GG coming, and he's trying to go back. There's no more Arbalest left, and 50 military against 15. Timotheus just saying shoot, but actually means something else. And oh golly. Well, Timotheus is now starting trade to maybe somehow come back into this game. So I'm sure if that's a winning strategy, don't pay attention for 1 second. Well, it felt like more like 8 seconds, I would say. And then lost the game. Genoese crossbowman. Maybe it seems to be his answer, but they're non-elite. Ay. That has to be it. I'm trying to get another bombard cannon out, but it's basically a guy whose pop limit can decide what he wants to go for. Goes for the raids against a guy who's struggling to stay above pop 100. Another round of light cap is coming over. No real answers. Now the monastery is exposed again. They're just dying left and right. Another big raid. Look at that, pop 110 against pop 180. Those houses are losses that you can take, and well, actually bombard cannons are still a nice unit, but let's look at that. The raids are so good, and desperately trying to hold on to Timotheus. I think if he had like 4 relics, he would already give up. At the moment, it just feels like I have 5 relics, and if I can hold, the time is ticking for me, and now I have 2 castles up. Maybe I can get into enough elite Genoese crossbowmen, which perform kind of reasonably well against skirmishers and those light cav. That's another castle under danger, and he does not have masonry, no hoardings as well, and needs to retreat here, so that castle will fall. Therefore his whole eco is exposed. Will lose that gold spot. At the same time, that one isn't really at full acceleration. That's not the real word. And yeah, the push just continues quite strongly here. Needs to go back with another group of crossbowmen or Genoese crossbowmen. Another condo attack. And well, remember, those are still the strong condos from 5.6. Oh, nice ground attacks here against the Gebetos. But they aren't getting one-hitted. I need to get 2 hits now, and Timotheus finally GGing. Think could have done that after losing all his Arbalest, but felt like he still had somewhat of a chance. Actually, raided over and over again, and the game was just over from that point, and it didn't look great before that either. So LaaaN taking this to at least a 4th game here, and yeah, now really played to the strength of the civilization. I believe Onager Gebeto there felt pretty damn strong. Obviously champions could have been somewhat of an answer, but then hand cannoneers could have countered them, so kind of 2 units is what you want to go for, that combine pretty well together. Brutal KD here. Lost a lot of villagers, ate a lot of big shots against his Arbalest as well, and then it's tough to really look good. 4k gold though with all his relics. So as we said, this is why he stayed in this game for such a long time, only because he had the relic advantage so heavily in his favor. So now we're out of Malians and we are out of Italians, meaning we will see a Slav-Inca matchup. Oh. Well, if Timotheus gets onto like Boyar Onager, Incas is doing nothing. But if the game is not going to like super late game and endless amount of gold, which normally happens in 1v1, I believe the Kamayuks have to be strong in this one, right? Did Timotheus need Onagers? Well, he was trying to play this with bombard cannons and monks. Something I don't mind too much. Lost all monks with one big shot. Well, after Herstory, it was just so much tougher for him, yeah. I lost them one engagement, like shortly after the walls were broken. I believe Percy was really well, like worked out really well for LaaaN there. And yeah, maybe Onagers could have been better. Game number 4 will be Aztecs, Mayas, Incas as your options to choose from. I think it kind of has to be Aztecs, right? Still feel like very, very strong too. Aztecs every time, probably, right? Is there any argument for like Incas? I don't really see it. Well, Tower Rush if you wanted to go for it. I'm not sure. Guys, there's a good weekend coming up. When it comes to Age of Empires, we will have the DM tournament rolling on. We'll have tomorrow ACM against Hera. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to cast that. I believe I won't have time. But Sunday I will cast Stark against Happy Happy or CL. And yeah, should be pretty interesting. Not like the super hype matches. We had a lot of them during the week actually. We had no time either. But still, it feels like every game is on such a high level now in this tournament. Yeah, obviously, like, it's kind of a larger 1v1 tournament, and we are in the top 8. So it kind of has to be pretty sick from now on. Incas get Monk in Redemption, Slavs don't get Herstory, no face. I mean, Incas, Aztecs, Mayans. Why would you ever pick Incas? Incas get Monks in Redemption, Slavs don't get Herstory, no face. Okay, well, but they still have like very strong light cap, right? Like light cap with a very good food eco. Well, we will see. And I would say we should just jump into game number 3 here. We already know the civilizations, but we don't know the spawns. It is Timotheus here, again playing the yellow, and look at that, that's a weird base that could actually be cut, but is stone and gold. Somewhat protected, somewhat not. I'll let you be the judge on that. And a beautiful defensive gold spot though, berries in the back. Stone, someone in the front trying to push in his deers. And at the other side is the LaaaN. Very clumped gold spot, something you never really want if you're playing Miso. And the back stone, as it seems. That's one tile stone, one stone tile short. He could go for a restart for that one. Let's take a look if he scouted that. And yes, he did, but he didn't ask for it, so I'd say let's not talk about the stone nor the ball over here. And we're all living a more happy life. Aye. Double berries again. That's happened every game in the series. Deers outside here. Oh, trying to do the sheep lock. Doesn't want to really delete the walls, as it seems. A lot of wolves here at the left hand side if you wanted to move out. This one's actually hiding quite nicely in the woods here. Here pushing continues. We have small advantage here for Timotheus, probably because of something we don't want to mention. Land did find those two villagers there at the top. And yeah, I'm really curious what army composition Timotheus will go for here with his Slavs. Not sure. Well, honestly, halberdier shouldn't work, right? Any calves shouldn't work. Infantry shouldn't work. I actually don't mind Incas. I think they counter basically everything that Timotheus has pretty nicely, except maybe onagers, but you need something to add onagers. Normally you go for halberdiers, but not against Miso. And just go for some eagles. Will be interesting. But maybe something like champion onager for Timotheus? Is that an option? Sounds so weird for Slavs, but I don't really know how land should counter that. Exclamation mark bracket, guys. Did I not start the bot? Ah, okay, exclamation mark bracket from now on. My bad. Thought I clicked him. Now 6 on berries. It's kind of weird. Why would you screw up your builder so much? You had two berry bushes. Ah, there he goes, the hippo bot. Reporter. Saver in life. Nothing too special going on. Reasonable mining camp and land along with a reasonable time. Can all agree on that, and I like how he pushed all 3 deer in without losing any parts of his wall. Just putting the sheep in the gate to keep it open, and feels like that was all in time as well. And for third deer now. Oh god, how I saved this one. I want to say second lumber camp at the top of the 3 villages. Ay. And the other side, we have the pop 27 for Timotheus, who is probably playing this stable monastery like he did so many times early on. And look at those deer positionings. Seems like that is a good one. When does CL play start? I believe 11 GMT on Sunday. Pretty sure about that. Check AOC zone or the AV2 calendar. Exclamation mark schedule. I think should link you to that one. Really love that website. Think if it's even more active, it could be like the website to ever go to. But we have like 2 different threads that we can check as well. All the important tournaments. And yeah, it's so helpful. Getting all the streamers all the time. They're so nice. So making some mistakes with the dates though. It's kind of weird. And now clicking up with the perfect eco. Look at that. That looked all very crisp land here. 15-10. You should be proud of that build up. With only 3 deer. Well, he had extra berries, so that's sweet for him. Actually floating quite a bit of wood as well. And 3 on gold. So maybe a monastery trying to get some relics, contest them somewhat. At the other side, as we said, farming already started quite heavily. And he will probably add some scouts. LaaaaaN, is he actually out on the map? No, he's not. Wants to save his Eagle Warrior there against an obviously now infuriated superior scout. On the other side, Timotheus looking for a lot of map control, but only scouted 2 relics so far. 21 seconds behind, but 1 villager ahead, so actually that's 4 second advantage for him. Not really important. 4 on gold, so he will add a monastery as well. We'll try to get some map control. Now scouted the 3rd relic. Not really sure if how happy he is with that one, and I'm not sure if he really knows how this wood situation looks over here. He kind of has to know. that it's combined, but not 100% sure. He saw the eagle without any upgrades, if he actually clicked on it. Don't check from that kind of, they put records as live? Is that so? I've never seen that before, Mr. Dot. I've never seen that before. Okay, scouts number 2 and 3 out now. So it goes for some military. TC, interesting placement here. I think he could have put it over here as well if he wanted to go for wood. Because that's like not really connecting with the wood. Monastery, somewhat offensive, somewhat defensive, not 100% sure. Timotheus now trying to lure the eagle into his other scouts. Interesting. Oh, look at that. He's actually not showing the second one. Now trying to go back and now trying to go for the flank right hand side, left hand side. So he cannot run. Look at that. How he's trapped now. Oh, what a beautiful job. Yeah, the third one a bit late to the party, but he just wanted to make sure to absolutely go for the kill. And oh, what a beautiful move here. Lily, do you know the situation when people laugh at you when you want to become something? Yes, I know. Actually, that happens when I was or like 8 years old or something, and we were at a bowling alley, and I told the mother of the guy who had birthday that I want to be a professional sports commentator one day. So then they laughed at me, and in school they laughed at me when I said, yeah, I'm going to make thousands and thousands of dollars of playing poker. They laughed at me. And well, when else? When I said told my English teacher that it's not unlikely that I will earn money by playing computer games professionally, they laughed at me. So, well, a lot of what I'm actually doing in my life was laughed at one point. No one ever laughed. Well, yeah. I was being a school teacher, obviously. Everyone felt like, oh, that's so honorable, because they knew what I was talking about. Well, and everyone laughed when I told them I wanted to be a comedian as well. No one's laughing now. Ah, you said the joke that I want to say as well. I didn't read your second message. Ah, yeah. What's the risk? Sorry, my bad. Like, now it feels like I just read from you. Yeah, I knew that joke as well. Cheat! Okay, well, great minds think alike. But yeah, I like that joke. But I didn't think of it before I started, like, my real talk before that. KD 1-0. It's only that eagle so far. Ay. Yeah, that's actually like, I think I heard it first from a grill, actually. A grill comedian, which is kind of rare. Look at that, LaaaaaN is actually... Well, he has to be thinking about imping, right? Let me take a look. Yeah, he's banking up resources. Interesting. So... he has no map, he didn't build scouts, he didn't go for relics, but he's also not really ahead when it comes to villagers. That's interesting, right? Oh, and look at that. Where are his gold spots? Timotheus sees one over here, one over here. Let me see, does he know his third gold spot? Yes, he does. So he just needs to push over here, and he's controlling every gold spot. Interesting. Interesting, and a mangonel here or a tower, and he's just controlling this whole area. Aye. There's a cool video of Christopher Hitchens explaining why women are not funny. Well, I think women can be funny, but yeah, I honestly feel like it's so much rare, or like, oh, what's the more rare or less rare No, more rare. Less often. Something like that. Yeah, okay, gods are way more unfunny. Unfunnier. You don't play arena nearly? Seems like at the moment not. What I'm casting. Why are you saying that? Small tactical pause here. Exclamation mark back T could explain you why they're pausing. Timotheus will be clicking up pretty soon. He can hit Wilts with Mangonel. Yeah, I think so as well. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that one, so he couldn't. Actually, it's like 6 range, right? 7 range. Okay, yeah, he could hit them. That's the 0 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Yeah. He could hit every of them except those 4. Now defensive castle had a pretty good spot though. Timotheus is asking his coach for advice. Well, we'll see. Actually, the two of them are kind of interesting to follow for the next DM2v2 tournament, because obviously their team play should be good. They should know each other pretty well. They know all the civilizations, have interesting strategies, great imperial play. They just don't know the DM start too well. But except that, I think they are looking pretty sharp to maybe be the upset of the tournament and claim maybe, well, top 6 would be pretty sick for them. But they could also go down in the first round here. Don't take damage to Helbig the H-Style. Oh, and actually... Check, look, got 1 villager kill and is now going back. Timing for him as well. Solid whoops. I was about to go into the wrong direction. So he's going for a stable indeed. Or more stables. So that will be Knight Mango now? Or what is going on here? I'm not sure he saw the castle. I've seen the M2v2 tournament looks very hard. Well, I don't see Spring and Slam having any chances. What did I see them? At like 13s or something? And yeah, Malcolm was saying pause. And yes. Timotheus is asking go. Or the other way around. Looks like one of the two needed a small rest. 5 relics again for Mr. Timotheus. Last game that meant he lost. Let's take a look at this game. He's 6 villages ahead this time. Has a lot of map control. And, well, if he loses everything, that happens. What is LaaaaaN going for? Is he just going for mass eagles? And going for... Oh, interesting. So patterns. But those patterns won't do much, I believe. Well, they will always get spotted. That's going for lead eagles. Timotheus is even going for loom. Is that for his 1 forward villager? I'm not 100% sure. Man-at-Arms upgrade now for Timotheus. Is he switching? That's something I didn't see coming. Solidish Fudico. But still only 3 TCs. Means only 2 producing while he's on the way to him. And now LaaaaaN is moving out. Let's take a look. He's kind of running into those knights. He has the upgrades though. Magnets in the back could do a lot of damage against those not too high HP Eagle Warriors. Let's take a look. Magnets, are they getting the round attacks in? Not really. And that actually could have been a kill against the Mangonel. Not 100% sure. Trying to jump into the castle. Trying to be safe here. And now going for the attack upgrade after researching 2 defense upgrades. But Timotheus, he is researching Cavaliers. Now adding another Scorpion, trying to open himself another path into the eco of LaaaaaN, who is not really producing too many villagers at the moment. If you look at that, some idle eco as well. Looks interesting. I went for market and more farms, and those farms of the Slavs would just be too interesting. Let's take a look at the next engagement. Is a favorable one for LaaaaaN. He is taking some damage of the one Scorpion, but that's not too important. 2 Scorpions now in the back, trying to go for some combats. Mangonauts in the back, getting some good ground attacks here, now opening some more, and losing a lot of those Eagles before the real engagement started. And now perfect timing for the cavalry upgrade here as well. I believe Timotheus is taking a very good fight here, but maybe the Eagle numbers were too high to at least snipe all the siege. Maybe if he runs now, that was still kind of cost efficient. And now the Kameyuks are over. Obviously they are benefiting from the same upgrade like the Eagle Warriors, so he kind of has to be fine with that. That gate was way late, and Cavaliers now going for the raids, or are they really? From the distance, Kameyuks still doing some damage. They're coming over, and Cavaliers, they need to go for the raid. 20 villagers ahead now is Timotheus' military count. He's 10 ahead, trying to get another castle out here. But Kameyuks obviously won't perform too well. 2 Scorpions added here, and that's just a beauty. Slavs, better farm eco, benefiting those Cavaliers, and cheaper siege, allowing him to go for better Scorpions. Going for some raids over here, going for some raids here at the top. Actually, those scouts actually doing quite a nice job. No attack upgrades on them so far though. And LaaaaaN not really reacting. At the same time, this castle is not going up. Scorpion's doing an incredible job. And Cavaliers against like only a castle age Kameyuks. Obviously not the greatest thing ever as well. I mean, it looks hard for our armors. Well, I think only Viper and Tato have a real chance to compete. Don't really see Riot and Fire having a chance. Longswordman switch now, and yeah, that's something he kind of prepared before. Has +1 attack, now going for the +1 defense as well, but then he still needs some siege. His eco is a solid 40 villages ahead now. Did I lose that? Did I miss that? That's pretty enormous here. Maybe not even 45. Now going for 2 swordsmen, and he's just sitting back. He's controlling still 1 gold spot. Could raid that other one. How is that happening? Look at that, how he doesn't have town watch. And he's not raiding that gold spot. Feels like, yeah, I control that one, but actually he's not. That's just so bad. Timotheus. Oh, he's maybe happy to get the kills in at the front here. Maybe another Scorpion, or maybe just kill that Stormwall with 28 HP. Could really help him out here as well. Those Longswordmen now really doing the damage. Husbandry even being researched. Not 100% sure if that's the #1 upgrade I want to see at the moment. But that should absolutely not happen. KD ratio, that's pretty brutal as well, yeah. But you have to remember, Timotheus is going for the more expansive units here. Mangonauts, Scorpions, and Cavaliers, compared to, yeah, mainly Eagles and some Kameyuks. Now going for the archer range, so maybe the Slinger switch is an option. But obviously very costly when it comes to gold. Look at all those exposed villagers. Just think about if the Cavaliers went in the back here, attacking 2-3 villagers. If they were just over here and snack those 20 off, would be so good for Timotheus, who's now in a very commanding lead here. Look at that eco. And look at LaaaAN's villagers, look at that. +1, +4 defense, and no loom. Oh man. And now a solid 65 villager lead and so many farms. Look at that. How many farms does he have? 54 Slav farms. So his eco is really running very well. Still going in for more raids. Rampaging so many more villagers. Maybe he's over booming a bit now. Oh, double gold spots over here at the north. Something we didn't check before. And now going for the champion tech. At the same time, LaaaAN is going for fletching. Oh, and will work for Ice Cream in the house, ensuring for his team Ireland. Isn't that what USA is for? United States of Ireland? Ireland, something like that. And now finally the Cavalier raid is coming over, and the +2 attack for the champions and light cav. At this time LaaaAN is still pulling the villagers, but wow, look, I believe Timotheus is now overwhelming 153 villagers here. Not 100% sure if that's the best option for him. 26 military high. And Kameyuks I really like the design of that unit. The warriors not trying to take another engagement. Champions coming over though. He's just retreating a bit more. He's now pop limit against a guy who's at pop 106. Still 2 gold spots blocked, but could get onto that one. And now Slinger production starts, but look at those upgrades. Only now Botkin arrow is coming. Timotheus not really getting the siege out, and the moment I say that, I can see the 3 traps. And I believe he can now not really lose the big engagement. Champion can just deal with the eagles and Kamayuks. Maybe some cavaliers are running around, taking good care of those slingers. And yeah, 155 villagers is definitely an overboom. Kind of weird that he's going for that. Elite Boya now even for Timotheus. Not 100% sure why he's going for that. He only has 2 castles and he has the cavalier attack already. Cavaliers need to be microed back to the slingers, but he is just rampaging that front line, and LaaaaaN is giving that up. Unfortunate gold spot for him. He couldn't really sit back and was forced into kind of poor engagements. I believe that one. He needed to take a more open engagement against all that siege. Not really going too well for him. And then the game was just snowballing. He got big raids against him, couldn't really get the eco rolling, no real gold control. And Timotheus, a bit of a slower time, but the good eco just carrying him so much, taking the 2-1 lead here. And he has to be happy after those 3 games with the civilizations to come out ahead. Pretty well played by him. And now I want to take a look at the achievements. KD, pretty brutal, but got a lot of eagles, got a lot of villagers. Had the better eco in all regions there. Pretty sweet for him. And yeah, that's just not even fair. Look how dominant he was in the eco count. Military numbers were never really high. Look at that. That was the eagle fight, but just got smashed down and then never really stabilized. In the end, those Kamayuks were not enough. Okay guys, then Civs for map number 4 are Aztecs, Mayans or Incas. What would be your choice and why? Please post in the chat and educate me. I feel Aztecs should be the safe pick there. It's still super strong when it comes to the Monk Rush. I feel it's not really countered that well. By secret by what? Okay, seems like I was wrong. Are we not? We're in the loser bracket, right? And that's still the first round? Oh, okay. Well, then we'll take this back. No, there's not a first. Check the brackets again. We're in round 2. Huh. Okay, seems like both quarters were the same. Okay, so it wasn't Aztecs, Mayans, Incas. That's what we will see next series in the loser bracket. For now, it was Mirrored Civilization. So I can still take a look at what you said in chat, and thank you for being so active and talking about other things to not let me look too bad. Except psh, psh, which is kind of the sound I should give myself for not understanding the settings there. It was kind of confusing, and like semifinals round 1, semifinals round 2. Oh yeah, the naming is just weird in this tournament, I have to say, of like what phase in the tournament we are. Where's my sugar water when I need one? Let me get some sugar water, and then we can jump into game number 5. It will be nearly failed blood pyramid, and then we'll come back with game number 4, Timotheus against LaaaaaN. That is confusing. Well, there are easier ways to make it, right? Well. And, well. I think also, like, when people are calling it loser bracket finals, I think it should be called differently, but nah. Maybe one day I will host a tournament with double elimination, and then I can decide how it's called. Oh, actually, I'm doing my own names now as well, right? Loser bracket round of 12. It's kind of easier for me, but well, they're all winners in my heart. The fuck. Whoa, it's nearly the real one. Yeah, there are a lot of fake Neelys around. Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. Only go to Team Neely official. And let's jump into the game number 4 finally, and this was played on Mirror Civilization, and we got Vietnamese. So we'll have Timotheus again with the yellow trunks here. I like when a player plays the same civilization every single game. On the other side we have the teal player, Mr. LaaaaaN, who just wanted to really rush that house out to not get housed. That's kind of weird area here. That's very open for him, and we didn't see a single restart in this one. This could have been a map where I could easily make an argument for a restart. On gold, that is not too great, and the rest is super open. Uh-oh, tower rush. What is statics? What is LaaaaaN doing? Oh, he wants to push in here? What's going on? Why did he X? I don't understand it. Okay, 2 villagers on stone now, 5 forward, 944 is a solid timing. 4 on berries still, well that's weird, like that's too much on 4 on berries and 4 on sheep. Something you don't really need when you do tower rush, but well, you cannot really go for the craziest tower rush anyways, right? Timotheus, you have 250 plus 550, nearly mass, that's 800 HP to defend against the towers here, and Timotheus is in his own base, still pushing tiers, still producing villagers, and now we'll get the interesting news that there is maybe someone tower rushing him, because he's up at 944, and that's actually before he clicked up Fuel Age himself. Now trying to get some walls up here, but the tower rush is coming over here, trying to get a house up, actually it's several houses. Maybe I should build some walls behind that. Not 100% sure what his plan is here. And interesting, Witches always is pulling villagers and trying to fight down palisade walls. And here LaaaaaN is just building the tower with 5 villagers first, and then going for the tower. Doing the right job of already taking the house. And now trying to fight down with those villagers against the palisade wall. He was asking to signal his villagers to where to go. That makes a lot of sense. So how will Timotheus react to that? Still not on stone. Sending more villagers on gold. Isn't that interesting? Okay. And obviously wants to do a lot of damage. The scout should actually attack the house, and one more villager should go into the tower. to get the damage output a bit higher. And going for some walls over here. Kind of a bit surprising. House now got another 200 HP. Defensive tower seems to be pretty fine. Timotheus will make sneak siege tower plus expose. Maybe that's an option. Yeah, and Winter also goes for an archery range. That's true as well. Defensive tower will probably be up. Walls around here are fine as well. And what is LaaaN doing then? It's like Timotheus just defended this quite nice and easily. Same time, the eco looks not like your typical tower rush, but well, the trend has been going to also keeping an eco up at the same time. So kind of feels okay. Is he trying to get another tower up here? Yes, he is. And now going for wheelbarrow because it was housed. Switching on to gold. That's quite early, I have to say. T90 of T nearly official. Oh, isn't that great? Oh, thanks so much, mate. We got right now for Timotheus, double with X, wheelbarrow for LaaaN, as we said before. And, well, Timotheus doesn't seem like he's taking too many losses. All that didn't need to go for stone early on. Just clicked up and then went for stone. Now kind of needs to rush some villagers onto stone. But all feels pretty well for him. What is he trying to do here? Why is he pulling that villager off? Just to get some houses off? Okay. Oopa! Villager is dancing. But the tower probably is going to go up. And well, that tower could get countered. Let's take a look at Timotheus. He only has 57 stone. Could make an argument for buying some. That's an outpost first. The question has to be, has it done enough to warrant efficiently idling 5 villagers? Nearly mass. How many rest could be have collected with them? So, nearly math. We go for that. He went out at minute 9, so that's 7 minutes. And he has 5 villagers, so that's 35 villager minutes, and you get 20 resources every villager minute, so that's 700 resources. Nearly math. Plus, you have to think about how many villagers he sent on stone to build towers, and how many villagers were forced to get stone and wood at home. That's nearly advanced math. In your next lesson, make sure to tune in next Friday, 19 GMT. Take into account that Timo also had to idle some of his. Yeah, he had to idle some of his. He's losing berries. He did send some on stone as well. He lost the house. And he lost the map control as well. He's losing some of his precious wood. Some gold is out of his control, some stone for now, but that's not too important because he had a pretty solid map. Now he needs to build a defensive mangonel to kind of clear this area, which won't be too useful if LaaaN is on stone. And maybe switching, what are those? Those are all getting sent on stone, so he will actually go for rattans. And I like how rattans can get microed against mangonels. I love the early slam games there on the GMs when you really like the Vietnamese play. And yeah, really out microed the mangonels quite nicely. Mangonels. Wouldn't it be funny if Timotheus just built it offensively and went for it? But yeah, just sneak a villager around and get crossbowmen with siege towers up would be too nice as well. And then it's tough to tower up the whole base. Now sending more on stone. That's interesting. And the stone wall's up. Don't you feel Vietnamese civ is one of the weakest civs? Well, probably. They're kind of a one-trick pony, and like as a civ advantage, not that great. Like feudal age archers, instead of having 30 HP, 33. Yeah, it is sometimes one more hit, but it's still like not massive. Feels like cheaper for Mayans is better. One more range in Castle Age for Britons is better. Feels like, yeah, even the gold bonus for Turks are kind of better. So, yeah, I don't think that it's too good. Obviously they're good elephants, so in DM they're quite solid. Plus 8 HP. Is it plus 8 HP? And 40 HP? That's for Arbalest, right? In Im. Because crossbowmen have 35, archers have 30, I believe? Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, and like 48 HP for Arbalest. Either you eat an on-hit shot or you don't. So, okay, now going for Redens. That means Timotheus' eco should just be so much better. Comes with 33, not the most beautiful placement, but well, it'll clear up everything. Can now go for some relics. He has to be fine with how this tower rush was dependent by himself. Still staying on stone with 5 villagers here. It's quite a bit. LaaaaaN, will he get a kill into this one? For now, only one loss here in this whole game, and felt like LaaaaaN didn't really have the greatest idea of how to play this. Now even selling some stone. I said, like, is it confusing how much he had on stone here? It seems like he wants to go for fast imp behind that, but well, Vietnamese fast imp with the defensive castle. That's a strategy I didn't find in my Age of Empires strategy textbook. So it's either super advanced or what I feel not the greatest strategy. Battle of Africa, I expect to see plenty of elephants. They're kind of only really viable in team games alternative to paladins. Well, just watch the DM tournaments and you will see a lot of elephants as well. The DM tournaments are going to be so sick. Every time we will see one of the 4 Rise of Larger Civilization, kind of have to start with mass elephants. They're so good in DM. Well, Malay kind of has to go for elephants as well, right? Because they don't really have good light cav. Or like they don't really have any good imp army. Especially now with the Karambits being weaker. And Malay's elephants even cheaper than before. I think Malay can go for elephants as well. Okay, walls are still set up. LaaaaaN is now going for fletching, so Bracer is even some time away. Take a look how he's coming over. If he's trying to snag something, KD is still 1-0. Look at that. Hi. Malay is too risky. Malay pocket is so bad. Yeah, I know. I know. But I don't know how the civ picking system works, honestly. Ooh. 32 villagers is now the advantage here for Mr. Timotheus, who's heavily in head and score as well, trying to go for some Magnum Micro. Did dodge that shot. Did get it down to 12 HP. Let's take a look. And that's one solid ground attack. Let's take a look. Monk is helping out some. Oh, Market Ledge Scout quite nicely in the last second. Trying to go for the Micro over here. Did get the kill without the loss. No Magnum queued up for LaaaaaN. And he can re-engage this before he has Bracer. Might lose the Siege Workshop, might lose some villages over here. At least one, bam, and now could go for more. 5 relics again for Timotheus. Thanks for pointing that out. Horse color, pretty late for him though. And look at that, more than double the villagers. And LaaaaaN, not really having the army. And maybe even some losses here before Bracer. Let's take a look. Trying to go for the splits. And as I said, I like how they split off. And well, we'll get the kill. The Monk is super idle. The scout doesn't really know what to do with his life either. But, well, what happens now? Timotheus clicks up to him, and he has just 40 villagers more. He can go for anything. He can just go for Imperial Camels. It's super fine. He can wait for himself to get up to Red and Archers himself. But it seems like he's not enough on stone for that. Or Arbalest. Stop. What, with casting? Okay. Can someone please write goal? Okay, one convert here, trying to go for more Mangonel shot, could still come over two converts as it seems. He doesn't really want to take the fight there from the short distance. Ah, not you. Okay. Oh, and that's not the greatest micro ever. Oh, and how did he just lose all his army? He was kind of forced to do damage now with his Redans and the traps. And well, that didn't really work out too well for him. Ay. If LaaaN doesn't push now, the Eco will wreck him. Yeah, and well, he did kind of push, but just got converted, then ran into Mangonel, into two Scorpions, and just simply didn't do any damage. Now, Imperial Skirmish is coming over, Castle, he will just be so fine. Probably lacking a bit of wood here. If we take a look at Timotheus' Eco, he is at only 32 woodcutters for a guy going for mass archery ranges. It's not really the greatest option. But, well, Legend Archers are just bad. Well, disagreed. I believe his strategy was just bad. Field Skirmisher, first upgrade here with Bracer and Chemistry. He will win that fight, and, well, it seems like LaaaN is trying to rush an aggressive castle out. Actually, Monastery got sniped down, but he's already preparing another one. And trying to get a castle up in 100 stone, but I believe that's not really going to happen. Because Imperial Skirmishers will just do the job here against all the army. LaaaN, actually, he shouldn't really go in there because getting castle up in there is more unrealistic. Oh, okay. Well, that's ripped the dream of getting a castle up. And I'm sending the villagers back! Oh god, okay, well, he has another suicide squad, so that's good for him. And Imperial Skirmisher is just running in. He probably will get that castle up, but just look at the pop numbers, guys. So brutally in favor of Timotheus here. Maybe he can't even deny that. Those villagers are already somewhat low on XP. The damage output is somewhat reasonable of those Imperial Skirmishers here. 4+4. And yeah, castle is not even going up. Maybe Mangonel can clear the situation, but Timotheus is taking good care of that. Just running away, sniping down Red and Archer after Red and Archers. Maybe squeezing a villager kill here from here and there. Oops! And not even getting the big kill against all those imp skirmishers who are now sniping down all those Red and Archers. Mangonel not really closing down the distance. The traps not getting the kills in. Now doing the splits as well. Oh, actually one beautiful ground attack, but the kill in the end. Did try to go for the repair 1 second earlier, and he could have maybe cleared that up. But even then, Timotheus is already preparing the Battle Elephant switch. Well, not really, but he has 2 stables. Oh, now villagers trying to really go for the kill here. Actually pulled off from the stone spot there at the front, and that elephant is just killing everything. And I believe LaaaN's strategy in game number 1 and game number 4 were just not ideal and somewhat uncreative. Therefore, Timotheus, the guy that I kind of favored in this series, is actually taking the win, which is pretty sweet for him, going into the round of 8 of the loser bracket here, and Mr. LaaaN will be out of that one. Pretty interesting to see how yeah, the next series will go, because it will be Timotheus against Mr. Tato. So that will be a very interesting series for sure. A lot of mind games. Will be another best of 5. Loser bracket is very best of 5 heavy. Winner bracket is best of 7s. So that's kind of interesting for sure. And maybe we can see another setup of Tato. Maybe getting very early out of this tournament. It's elimination against him. Not a lot of kills. Eco, obviously, so much better for Timotheus. And, well, 1 relic. Actually, it was 5, but in the end, he only had 1 because his monastery with the 4 died. Timotheus, GG, well played by him. And we take a look into